Yo, welcome back to the Scale Drift Project. I've been busy these last few weeks, so expect some epicness. Most who follow me on Instagram already know how beast this episode will be. First, I want to start with a section I so lovingly call Get Yourself a Damn 3D Printer. I bought this kit called the CME CNC Raw Stock version 2 printer. Paid $1,000 for the kit, which now has been improved with a version 3. Check them out, it's pretty budget, it prints pretty huge, looks awesome, and is fairly easy to assemble. If you put an RC kit together, you should be able to slam one of these together with no issues. This is a Delta vectoring printer. It triangulates the printing nozzle. It looks pretty badass while doing it. It's also called a fused deposition printer. It's basically a CNC controlled glue gun that moves the glue gun in 3 axes. So it's printing single flat layers and stacking them together. When printing using PLA, it warps less while printing and doesn't induce popcorn lung. That ABS plastic is pretty nasty shit, so take precautions when printing as many racing seats as I have. Speaking of racing seats, as most of you know, I'm giving away a set of 3D printed 1/10 scale Recaro seats every episode of the Scale Drift Project. This week's seats go to Skilliman. I think that's what it is. Jesus Christ. Skilliman, I've sent you a PM, so send me your Addy. If you'd like a set of these bad boys, subscribe to K-Pop RC, thumbs up the video, and comment below. It's just that fucking simple. First two winners. Yo, first 2 winners. Here they are. First two, shipping out. Alright, right off the bat, let's get to the electronics. Let's rough them in. First, I gotta remove the dashboard. I think I'm gonna reprint these mounts to have captured lock nuts, so I don't need pliers to screw the thing down. Fuck, finally. I soldered the engine into place, which can be a bit tricky. I find the best tip is to get a decent lead solder. None of this lead-free solder crap. And get both the wire and the surface you're soldering to hot. It should be able to melt the solder on the wire itself. It should melt on the things that you want to solder together, as opposed to your iron. That's how you know it's hot enough. A few of you mentioned the gyro. God, I'm gonna say Euro for sure at some point. The Euro is short for gyrometer. I decided to plop it in the middle, it fit easier, and from what I hear, it's a good starting point. I'm also using strong double-sided tape because Velcro isn't secure enough for a Euro. Gyro, why am I hungry all of a sudden? Here's me putting on some zip ties, always a good time. Putting on zip ties, some cable management, so hard to wire tuck these damn things. So many goddamn wires. I really need to figure out how to repin servo plugs. If anybody's got a good link on tutorial or some tool, I don't know. Anyways, next, this section will be called Now What? What would it take to bring this build to the next level? Because that's what I'm into. That's what I'm all about. You know, taking it to the next level. I jumped on Thingiverse, found myself a free 3D STL model of a 2JZ engine and turbo plus turbo manifold, so naturally, I was printing it before I knew what was going on. I basically blacked out, woke up and it was printing. The 2JZ should be a pretty big hint, so, you know. Here you can see me 3D slicing the turbo. This program is creating a toolpath for the 3D printer. The program takes STLs and slices them to print. It controls infill, supports structure for things like overhangs. You can see I heavily use supports for the turbo. I also designed myself an intercooler. This one was 100% designed by me, so feel free to find me on Thingiverse and download the file to print it on your own. Remember part 1, go buy a fucking 3D printer. After a lot of cutting, I managed to get the head to fit, but that turbo. Eventually I came to terms with the fact that I had to cut the exhaust manifold off. I think it's starting to come together. I think it's really starting to come together. It's gonna be pretty frickin' badass. That's it for this week's episode of K-Pop RC. Watch me every Monday on YouTube. Visit me on Instagram for daily updates and project spoilers. Don't forget to leave me a comment, a thumbs up, and subscribe for wicked RC content and your chance to win some really cool scaled 3D printed shit. K-Pop